Hello and welcome to Middle Eastern Thursday. So today I have a very special lineup for you because I have 11 fragrances that are not just all year appropriate, so you can use them during any season of the year, but they will also make you smell luxurious, rich. They have like this opulent vibe that comes as soon as you spray them on. These are the type of fragrances that when you use them for any occasion and you walk into a room or you're just anywhere, people will definitely stop and see who is smelling so fabulous and with that luxurious scent. These are fragrances that, while not breaking the bank, do have that scent of luxury. So they really smell like $300 plus fragrances, but they are extremely affordable. I will be giving you, of course, some detail as I share each one, but it's not a full-blown review because I've already reviewed all of these fragrances here on the channel. So let's jump right in. But before we do so, if this is your first time here, I'm Arahi and I'm your fragrance concierge because I'm totally committed to creating the best fragrance experience for you. I upload videos multiple times a week, and on this channel, we love to talk about all types of fragrances. So if that sounds like the type of content that you're interested in and like a good plan, then please consider subscribing, give this video a thumbs up, and don't forget, leave a comment. Let's go. All right, so the first fragrance that I want to share with you today is one that I don't think should come as a surprise, because if you've tried this fragrance or if you own it, you will agree with me that the scent of this fragrance truly speaks to luxury. And I am speaking about Lattafa Gharam. This fragrance, wow, this is absolutely incredible. If you want to smell like luxury, like pure wealth and riches, and just a fabulous type of individual, this is a fragrance that you definitely want to get your hands on. Gharam is one of those fragrances that has been allegedly inspired by a very luxury designer fragrance. And if I recall correctly, it's Bacciami. And, from the Allegra collection. And while this does give me a lot of similarities, I don't think that they are necessarily exactly the same. But like I said at the beginning, irrelevant, because what I can tell you is that this fragrance smells absolutely fabulous. So Gharam is a fragrance that opens up very fruity and sweet. There are some citrusy notes here that bring a certain degree of airiness to the fragrance. There are some very, I wouldn't say dominant woody notes, but very present woody notes. You can't avoid picking up on those woody notes, but those are the ones that add quite a bit of character to the fragrance. But this is truly a fragrance that you could pull off any season of the year, and that will definitely have that luxurious vibe to it. The other thing that I love about Gharam is that there is like an elegance and sophistication to it, because it definitely has some florals. And to my nose, the florals that really come out are really the white florals, and none of them really are dominant per se. You are going to get that bouquet of white florals, and the fragrance, to add to that elegance, is a bit ambery, not a tiny bit, but it is definitely an ambery fragrance. But all in all, this is a fragrance that you definitely want to get your hands on if you are looking for that perfect for any season, luxurious scent that will carry you through any occasion, day or night. The next fragrance that I have for you is one that I shared with you recently, but it is one that really has made such an impression in my collection. It has already earned its spot, and I can tell you it will remain in my collection. And this is from Paris Corner, and this is Fayora. Now, Fayora is a fragrance that is perfect for my violet and purple florals lovers. Fayora is a fragrance that was allegedly inspired by Xerjoff Casamarati Dama Bianca. And I've already reviewed this fragrance here on the channel for you. And I did share with you that yes, there's definitely the same vibe, but there is a serious twist in this fragrance that, as it has a chance to sit more and more in my collection, has become more and more pronounced. And the twist is that this fragrance is really more about like the note of passion fruit. And while at that, It's not a passion fruit that brings in such a tropical accord that makes it exclusive for like spring and summer. Oh no, Fayora is a fragrance that you can pull through any season of the year for any occasion, day or night. But this is truly a fragrance that you can not only pull for spring, summer, winter, all the seasons, but it is also one that has a very luxurious, rich and wealth kind of vibe to it. As soon as you spray this fragrance, you are definitely going to get that. And I have to tell you, what I love about this fragrance is that very realistic passion fruit note, which is with you from the first moment you spray it, all throughout the olfactory journey and throughout the wear of the fragrance. It is absolute perfection. In addition to the fruitiness, the fragrance also has some florals and some woody notes, which just add character to the fragrance overall. But I tell you, this is a fragrance that you cannot go wrong with if you are looking for an all year round kind of fragrance that will also make you feel beautiful and luxurious. The next fragrance that I have for you is Vulcan Sable from French Avenue. Now, this is a fragrance that was allegedly inspired by Stefan Humbert Luca's Sand Dance. And that is a fragrance like all the others that I'm going to share with you today that I do own and that I love. When I first sniffed this fragrance, it immediately brought that fragrance to mind. And while there are some negligible differences, I have to tell you that this fragrance is an absolute delight. This is a fragrance that you could definitely pull for any season of the year, but I will tell you that if you decide to use it during a very hot summer day, you may want to use it just for like late afternoon into evening and late night, because if you go, let's say like, I would not wear this to the beach, I guess is what I'm trying to say. If you're going to be in a situation where you're going to perspire or sweat during the summer season, this is not the fragrance to wear. Other than that, you can pull this all throughout the year. This is absolute perfection for spring, fall, and winter, and for certain occasions during the summer if it's not a very, very hot summer day. Now, this is a fragrance that, this is the scent of wealth and luxury for sure. This fragrance has a ton of vanilla and opens with quite a bit of woodiness. In addition to that, the fragrance is quite ambery. It is warm, spicy, and I really don't pick up on any specific, spicy note, but it is definitely warm, spicy. It is ambery, but all of those accords work so well with those woody notes and the ton of vanilla. Then the fragrance is also a bit boozy because it has the note of whiskey. And what I love about it is that when I pick up on that whiskey accord, like that boozy accord from the whiskey note, what I get is like some citrusy notes where I can clearly distinguish the note of orange. The fragrance is musk based, but it is not a musk that is animalic in any kind of way. I tell you, this is just perfection. If you are looking for a fragrance that will carry you through most of all of the seasons of the year, through any occasion, day or night, and is also a fragrance that will make you smell luxurious. It will make you feel so rich and wealthy, just beautiful. And it is certainly a high compliment getter. And wow, the performance is just stellar. The next fragrance that I want to share with you is from Lattafa, and it is a pretty recent launch, and it is Petra. Now, this is a fragrance that from the first moment I reviewed it with you, I told you that this is reminiscent of like being in a Greek island somewhere and having a very luxurious and opulent Mediterranean holiday or vacation. This fragrance has some tuberose. It has the note of plum, and while I'm starting to pick it up a little bit now that the fragrance has had a chance to sit, I'm still not full on picking up on that plum note. I am picking up though on a ton of vanilla. I am picking up on white florals, and the tuberose has come through. But primarily to me, this is like a boozy vanilla fragrance that for some reason is very much reminiscent of being like in the Mediterranean somewhere. Truly a scent of luxury holiday or vacation. The fragrance also has some coconut, but again, to me right now, still This is more of like a boozy vanilla fragrance, and it is definitely musk based, but it is a musk that's not coming in way too strong. It's giving me like to the tune of like a level 2, which means you are going to pick up on the musk, but it's not animalic, and it is very, very smooth. Because to me, this fragrance is not about the musk. It's really about that boozy vanilla. The fragrance is sweet, but not very sweet. So it is perfection for you to wear now during the summer season. If you want that luxury holiday vacation scent, this is perfection. But I tell you, this is truly a fragrance that you can pull throughout the entire year, because I have the feeling that as it has a chance to sit, there are other accords and notes that will come in. And I can tell you, this already smells fabulous, but I have a feeling it's just going to get better and better. The next fragrance that I have for you is from Khadlaj, and this one is Nuha Vanilla Pearl. This fragrance is an absolute delight. This has got to be one of the most versatile Middle Eastern fragrances that I've ever tried within the affordable range, because this is a fragrance that has the note of strawberry. Dominant to my nose are the strawberry, the caramel, the vanilla, and some white florals. But I pick up on that strawberry clearly. And what has happened as the fragrance has had a chance to sit is that the strawberry has become a bit more dominant, and it is a ripe, juicy, sweet strawberry. It's not synthetic in any way. In addition to the strawberry here, you are going to find some raspberry, if I recall correctly, and some black currant. And within the florals, you are going to pick up on the freesia. But this is a fragrance that I am telling you, it is just an absolute delight to wear. It is one that I seriously think you could pull it off any season of the year. If you're looking for a floral, fruity fragrance, this is absolute perfection. This does not bring anything to mind for me. What I can tell you is that this is a very high compliment getter. While this will work for any season of the year, you know, it is a fragrance that I think you will get the most out of, or you will feel the best with during like the spring, summer, and fall seasons. Would I pull this during the winter? Absolutely. And I would also most likely layer it with like a very woody fragrance, because here I don't pick up on any woody notes per se. It's more about those fruity notes, the florals, and that incredibly done vanilla. But this is a fragrance that as soon as you spray it is going to make you smell not just beautiful, but it's going to give you like that opulent, wealth-rich kind of feel and vibe. It is a fragrance that will get you compliments again, and I keep repeating that because that is one of the things that has really surprised me about this fragrance, the number of compliments that you get with it. It is just, I wouldn't say mass appealing, but it is not a polarizing kind of fragrance, even though it's not like your everyday regular type of scent. The next fragrance that I have for you is also from French Avenue, and this is Veneno Bianco. Now, Veneno Bianco is a fragrance that has been allegedly inspired by Killian's sun-kissed goddess. And I'm not going to get into all that, as I said in the opening. What I do want to tell you, if there is one fragrance that gives me that luxurious, wealth, extreme feel, it is absolutely this fragrance. This is such a luxurious take on that kind of suntan lotion kind of scent. This is a fragrance that opens with a ton of white florals. It does have a very citrusy presence to it. You are going to get those notes clearly, and it is a fragrance that is grounded by some woody notes for sure. But all in all, this is a fragrance that, while also being one that has a bit of vanilla and it is fresh, spicy, not necessarily warm, at least not to my nose, it is a fragrance that I think you could easily pull off during any season of the year. To me, this is perfection for spring and summer, but I can see someone using it throughout the entire year. And I also think that for sure, it is going to give you that luxurious feel. When I wear this fragrance, not only is I find it to be like uplifting, but it is a fragrance that has a scent that definitely speaks to that luxury. It is such a well done fragrance, and this one has not had a chance to sit much in my collection. There's a good bit of white florals here, as I said before. It is sweet. It has quite a bit of woodiness. It is fresh, spicy. There is a good bit of vanilla. It is a tad lactonic, and it does have a note of coconut, which is the one, and the coconut is creamy, but it's the one that brings that like suntan lotion kind of scent to it. But that suntan lotion kind of scent does not limit it to the summer. Curiously enough, while I do find that the one that it was allegedly inspired by is more for me like a true summer fragrance. This one is one that I tell you, you could pull throughout the entire year, and especially if you live in a region where it doesn't get very, very, very cold, because on a freezing, freezing winter day, I would not pull this fragrance, but otherwise you can use it just about any other time. The next fragrance that I have for you is from Lattafa, and this one is Angham. Now, Angham is a fragrance that was allegedly inspired by Burberry Goddess, and truly, it will give you that scent immediately. When you sniff it, it's going to call Burberry Goddess to your mind. But I will tell you, let's put that aside and really appreciate this fragrance, because this is an affordable fragrance that still will give you that luxury scent in such an incredible way. Truly, this is the real scent of luxury and opulence and riches and wealth. It is just absolutely incredible. Angham does have a very dominant vanilla and lavender like mix going on for real. It is truly all about the vanilla and the lavender. But at that, the fragrance also has some citrusy notes that keeps it airy. It is ambery, and it is a musk-based fragrance, where the musk, I would say, is like a level 3, but the musk is not animalic in any kind of way. At the dry down, you are going to get a very also like aromatic fragrance that is powdery, not a tad powdery, it is powdery. But at all that, it's not cloying in any kind of way. If there is one fragrance that without a shadow of a doubt I recommend for any season of the year, if you are looking for an affordable alternative to the one that it was allegedly inspired by, or you're just looking for a fragrance that really smells like luxury without breaking the bank, then Angham is definitely your fragrance. Let us know if you've tried it. Now, I have to tell you that the last fragrance that I just shared with you, which is Lattafa Angham, is one that truly speaks to luxury. But all of the fragrances that are coming up, I mean, all of the ones that I've shared with you today are really fragrances that will make you smell luxurious without breaking the bank, and you can use them throughout the entire year. But these that are coming up, oh wow. So this next one is from Paris Corner, and it's from the Lourdes de Sport collection, and it is Memories of Summer. So this is a very recent launch, but I have to tell you, I am so impressed with this fragrance. This is the true scent of luxury and wealth and riches and opulence in an unapologetic way. So this fragrance is allegedly inspired by Louis Vuitton Symphony. And this is a fragrance that when I first sniffed it, it did bring another fragrance to mind, but as I allowed it to sit, it gave me more and more of Symphony. And then I did, pull a small decant that I had of Symphony, and I was able to compare them. But putting that aside, this is truly a fragrance that if you're looking for a fragrance that's going to make you smell luxuriously fabulous without breaking the bank, then this is the fragrance for you. Now, this is one that truly I believe is best suited for spring and summer. But you could get away with using it throughout the year unless it's a very, very cold winter day. But this is a fragrance that I can clearly understand if someone decides to make it their signature scent, because it is just absolutely fabulous. This fragrance is truly a freshy, citrusy, aromatic, fresh, spicy kind of fragrance. That is what you're going to get from it, without a shadow of a doubt. And while the citrusy notes are really dominant, there is a level of spiciness, and if I recall correctly, because of the note of ginger, that really takes the fragrance to the next level. This is a fragrance that will get you a ton of compliments, and one that is a very easy pull. This is an uncomplicated, that's why I think that you could easily make it your signature scent. I don't think that there's really any age limitation to this fragrance, because again, it is very, very versatile. But when I tell you, if you are looking for an affordable fragrance that will truly make you smell luxurious and elegant and sophisticated and absolutely beautiful, this is a fragrance that you definitely want to get your hands on. Let us know if you've tried it. So this next fragrance is the fragrance for those fam members that are really into exceptional unisex fragrance, truly unisex fragrances, right? This one to me does not lean to the masculine nor to the feminine side. This is truly unisex. And this one is Paris Corner Reham, and this is Wild Mineral. But this fragrance, wow. You guys may recall when I first hauled this fragrance, this is such an incredible fragrance. Now, this one was allegedly inspired by Valentino Born in Roma Uomo, which is like the masculine Valentino Born in Roma. But I have to tell you, this to me is completely unisex, without a shadow of a doubt. But most importantly, this fragrance is the scent of luxury and wealth and opulence and sophistication. This is a fragrance that will immediately put you in that mood and make you walk with that air of knowing that you like own it all. It is just an exquisitely done fragrance. As the name says it, it does have a very, very mineral kind of quality. Like, to me, it's like a mineral ozonic / marine kind of quality to it. But curiously enough, although it has all that going on, it is a fragrance that I am telling you, this is suited for all year, because all of those accords really just add create this elegant and wealthy and luxurious kind of vibe. That's really the feel that you're going to get from the fragrance. It is also a tad green. It does have those citrusy notes because it could be considered a freshie, but to me, it just has too much character and oomph to really be considered a freshie, but you could say that it is a freshie. This one has had a chance to sit for a bit, and I have already seen some progress where it is really, really intensifying. There is also a tad of greenness. I tell you, this fragrance is just fabulous. When I tell you, when I first talked about this fragrance here on the channel, I did tell you that if there was a fragrance you needed to try, it is definitely Reham Wild Mineral, because there's two others in this collection and I've discussed them all here on the channel, but this is, when I tell you luxury and wealth in a bottle, this is it. And I definitely think you could pull this through any season of the year, even though it has that very present aquatic / ozonic / marine kind of quality to it. This is definitely an all year round fragrance in my opinion. It performs beautifully. You can use it for any occasion, day and night. I tell you, absolutely spectacular fragrance. The next fragrance that I want to discuss with you is from Lattafa, and it is kind of like a recent launch. But I have to tell you, I am so impressed with this fragrance, and this is Opulent Dubai. Now, this fragrance was allegedly inspired by Stefan Humbert Luca's God of Fire. Now, this is a fragrance that, wow, this is absolute perfection for this summer season that we're in. But this is one that you truly can pull through any season of the year. When you want to really smell like luxury, wealth, richness, overall well-being, and just fabulousness, this is your friend. This is the fragrance you want to get your hands on. And I have to tell you, I just can't believe that they delivered in such an incredible way, such an incredible fragrance, and that it can be this affordable. Because if you are looking for a more affordable alternative to the one that it was allegedly inspired by, or you're just looking for a backup bottle, I highly recommend that you pick this one up. This is a fragrance that has a very present citrusy quality, but it also has some mango, and the mango is, to me, the star of this fragrance. The mango is very real, not synthetic in any kind of way. It is ripe, it is sweet, it is juicy. There's also like a touch of an aquatic quality to the fragrance, but again, it's not like an aquatic or ozonic quality that is going to stop you from using this fragrance throughout the year, because this is definitely one that, in my opinion, you could use for any season of the year, any occasion, day or night. You could easily make this your signature scent. The other thing I love about this fragrance is that it has the note of ginger, and the note of ginger does bring like a fresh, spicy accord to it, but it is done so nicely that, you know, ginger can be a little bit overpowering, but not here, because here the mango is the star. And then to top it all off, to add character and oomph to the fragrance, you have some woody notes that have been done beautifully to balance with the fruitiness of the fragrance and the fresh spiciness of the fragrance. It is just perfection. This is one that I tell you, you need to get your hands on if you are looking for an affordable fragrance that will not break the bank in any way, but will smell like you're wearing a 400 plus fragrance. I don't think that this is a fragrance that has any specific age limitation. I think that anybody can pull off this fragrance. And again, very versatile. Any occasion, day and night, and for any season of the year. The next and last fragrance that I have for you today, I have to tell you, I am absolutely obsessed with this fragrance from first sniff. If you saw me haul it and then review it for you, you remember my reaction, and I am speaking about Lattafa's Dream of Haze. Again, let's take a moment to look at this fabulous, absolutely fabulous bottle. Isn't that incredible? Now guys, let me tell you about this fragrance. So this has got to be one of the most addictive fragrances that I have in my collection, and I have quite the number of them, but this will automatically hook you on. But when I tell you that this is truly the scent of luxury and sophistication and wealth and opulence in a fragrance that you can use all year, and that, to top it all off, is highly affordable. Now, Dream of Haze is supposed to be part of the Lattafa Pride collection, and okay, that's fine. I'm just here for the juice because this is absolutely exquisite. Now, let me share with you the notes so that we can talk a little bit about it. So we have mint, apple, shisha, accord, lavender, tobacco, patchouli, and tonka. Now, I clearly get the apple in this fragrance, but the apple to my nose is coming wrapped like in an air of tobacco. And what I love about this fragrance is exactly that note of tobacco. This is truly a unisex fragrance. It does not lean in any way to the masculine side, I promise you, nor to the feminine side. But the thing about the tobacco here is that it is not like your dry, overpowering tobacco. No, I find that the tobacco here is like the tobacco that I find and that still has me addicted to this day in Swiss Arabian Tobacco 01. It is the same tobacco. It's been done the same way. It is moist, it is enticing, it is smooth, it is absolute perfection, and it blends beautiful with all of the other notes and accords involved. Now, this is a fragrance that you can pull for any occasion during the entire year, for any season. This is an incredibly versatile fragrance that you can dress up, you can dress down. I would say, you know, it does have a tad of booziness now that it's been sitting, but it also has a very present like tonka note that gives it like almost like a yummy scent. You're not going to smell like food, because to me this is not really a gourmand, but there's like a certain yumminess, like a caramelly goodiness to this fragrance that you're not going to be able to avoid, and that adds to that addictive quality of the fragrance overall. This is absolute perfection. This has got to be one of my favorite Lattafas of all times now. It's competing with Sarah, which you guys know has been at the top of my list for quite a while, and Mashrabia, which you guys know that I absolutely love. But Dream of Haze is such a different creation. No, it does not remind me of anything. I have not even bothered to try and find anything else, because from the first moment I sniffed this fragrance, I knew that it was a deep love and a lifer for me. I really hope that they never discontinue it. But if you are, again, looking for a fragrance that is not going to break the bank, that performs exquisitely, that has an incredible projection and sillage, and that will make you definitely feel luxurious and rich and wealthy, this is a fragrance you want to get your hands on. All right, guys, so we've reached the end of today's video, and I hope that this was enjoyable for you. These are 11 fragrances that I highly recommend, whether you want to try them first or just pick them up. I just don't think you're going to be disappointed. If you've tried any of these fragrances and you love it or you don't love it, please let us know in the comment section, because it helps other fam members, get more information and make their decisions. Now, I will tell you that the last 4 fragrances that I shared are really just, oh wow, they are just beyond incredible for me. And that Dream of Haze is just stellar. But the Opulent Dubai is absolutely incredible. But there's just so many, because the Nuha Vanilla Pearl and Petra, they are just all, and Fayora. I could just go on and on and on about these fragrances. But anyway, I hope that this was enjoyable and useful for you. If you have any additional questions, remember that you can just go and enter the name of the fragrance in the search bar of the channel page, and it will bring up any video where I've discussed these fragrances in more detail. As always, thank you so much for hanging with me today, and I will see you all in the next video.